Brought to you by WKTV. I'm Wayne Thomas. Welcome to another Grand Rapids Ghost Hunters Paranormal Podcast.
This is Brandon Jose of Kent County Paranormal. Thank you for joining our forum in search of paranormal possibilities.
Hi, I'm glad to be back. I'm Laura Briggs, kind of guest host today, sitting in for Kim. I'm a holistic healthcare practitioner and astrologer. Please keep an open mind about things you might not easily believe as we explore the mysterious.
Excellent. Once again, Gene Gregory at the controls. Thanks, our producer. He's the producer of all the shows here on the Whole Picture Podcast. And we always like to start out with a review of our previous podcast. And last time we had Michigander Man, Robert Walker, and Buddy Anderson of Traveling Buddy. They were bad to the bone. Those guys go all over. They do a lot of paranormal stuff, things all over the Michigan here, little towns they go into. They were very interesting, informative. They actually have done a couple things now since they've been in here. They went to the Stimson Hospital with Ben from Afterlife Road Paranormal and Darren Dykehouse from Lakeshore Paranormal. So they all teamed up. Brandon, you weren't part of that?
No, I had seen them go live on that. Then I'm like, man, next time invite me along.
I know, you would have fit right in there.
Yeah.
So watch those guys. They're YouTubers, and they put a lot of stuff out, so watch for them. And then our literary reference, we did Aquarius Let the Sunshine In because our featured guest, it's one of her favorite songs. It makes her cry when she hears it, but I don't know if our version made her cry or not. But, I want to read this bio that I sent to both Brandon and Kim. Laura. Kim can't make it. Kim is normally here, but she can't make it. She'll be here next week. So this is the bio that I sent out to these guys. 35 plus years, Coptic teacher, a channel intuitive for the higher truth, master in esoteric healing with a BA in psychology, taught classes The Soul's Journey, Dream Interpretation, Meditation, Esoteric Healing. She's a Coptic teacher studying to be a Coptic minister. Has communion with animals, birds, and fairies. I want to get to that one for sure. And she's accomplished in telepathy, astral travel. She's investigated numerous areas of the paranormal, including encounters with ghostly apparitions and extraterrestrials. We can't keep this gal down. Barb Best, our featured guest tonight, and she's brought a friend with her, Ewelina.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So tell us about yourselves.
Well, I'll tell you, before any of this even started to unfold, I was the biggest skeptic in the world. And but at some point, as I was growing up, I remembered being born, and I had precognitive dreams, which I verified with my parents. I would see the undines in the water, and then my friends would say, "You need glasses." And I thought, no, I'm seeing them. There's something there. And so that led to going to the cemeteries and I would say Stations of the Cross in the church, and they would move and talk to me, and I thought, I don't know about this. I got to go let the nuns know, but they would verify it for me. So as I got older, things started happening, and when I really had to do something about it is when my dreams were like right on, just showing me earthquakes and storms, and then my houses were haunted. I had poltergeists. I knew I had to get like a handle on it. So I started to research a lot of knowledge, and the knowledge led to awareness. And I had things happen to me when I prayed, but then I got steered into meditation. And then I just took off from there. And I just kept studying and studying and studying. And then as the Aquarian age started to unfold, more and more people began leaning toward this area because they wanted answers and they weren't getting the answers anywhere. And a lot of them did not know where to go. So I guess that's where I filled in. I consider myself a goodwill server. I would like nothing more than to be a saint. That's all I would say. I just want to be a saint. But, I got involved in everything else and spooks, and I found out I could heal. I would hug people, and they'd say, "Oh, that felt good." And I said, "What?" And they said, "Well, my cold went away." And I said, "Just now?" And they say, "Yeah." Or their headache, or I healed this one man. We were in Arizona, and he fell from his truck, and I said to my friend, "Oh my gosh, look at him." He was screaming in pain, and his skin was all torn apart from the gravel and everything. He was ready to, go into shock. So I went over there, I put my hand on his back, and I said, "Listen, stay with me, stay with my voice." He's like, okay. And then all I did was put my hand over the sore, and he went, "Oh, that's better." And I said, "Did that take care of it?" And he goes, Yeah, and I thought, okay, thank you. Then I knew that I could do that anywhere at any time. But then I had a lot of spooks around me in my houses, places I went. So when everything comes in on you like that, you need to get a handle on where you're going with it, what you're going to do with it, what you're going to do with yourself. And you need knowledge and awareness. And I push that so much because that is the answer. And you have to go within to get that. So meditation is of utmost importance, and I can't even stress that enough. And Buddha said, if you want to get out of here, there's no other way. You have to meditate. And I thought, well, why? Why do we have to go that way? And he said, because that's how we got it set up. So, it's really, we all can get a block in our thinking. And we really should not be afraid of spooks, not be afraid of demons. We are the power. We have more power than any of them. It doesn't matter, which one, who they are, where they came from. We are the power. And humanity needs to know that. And that is what I say no matter where I am. And humanity doesn't give themselves enough credit for who they really are because they've been pushed back so much. Don't do this, don't go there, don't read that. The power's coming in. The Christ energy is coming in. How you use that energy is of utmost importance. So we can see some are going into the, shadow side. Some are repressing it and won't face it. They don't want to know. And then some are saying, hey, I can feel this. There's something not only out there, but there's something here within me. And that is the light of the Christ. And we have to keep that going. You'll be left behind if you don't.
Yeah, let's break this down a little bit. Because I know you have a unique gift and you want to share this knowledge with other people. And you say that the key is meditation.
Yes.
Now you talk about Buddha and you talk about Christ. I'm guessing that you recognize other prophets other than those even.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because they're basically teaching the same doctrine, maybe in different languages or that. But, you're into the Coptic, and I really didn't know what that was when I first read that. But it's ancient Egyptian Christianity.
Yeah, because Coptic means Egyptian. And it is Egyptian Christianity.
Yeah, but it's a mystery school, right? So it's not really the Coptics that we're familiar with from Africa that are the most common. Those are the Coptics, the knowledge that has been hidden for a very, very long time, and it's coming out. It has been coming out in the 20th century. So we're talking about the Coptics that actually have been preserving the knowledge of the Christ. That's what we're talking about. It's very different from the Coptic churches that people understand or know about from Africa.
Is it different than the Coptic Orthodox Church?
Yes, very, very, very different.
Mideast?
Yes.
because and then there's like 20 or 30,000 people in Egypt that are practicing the Coptic.
Yeah,
Right,
that was the
right, so that's
that was
different.
the break. What in 145 A.D. or something? The church basically banished them out,
Right.
so that became a separate section. But
We're even different than that.
Yeah,
that's more of an
yeah,
Essene
you're more of
route.
the metaphysical
Yes.
Definitely.
type
Yes.
of integration
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
finding your Christed center. Is that the correct term? I think most of the
Yeah.
people would use or would say.
Esoteric. I call it esoteric philosophy a lot of the times, but it's dealing with something that's beyond the form. And people they don't look beyond the form, and we have to start doing that. We have to be able to start working with the energy more and seeing the right and correct way to work with energy, because it's like a nuclear plant. You've got nuclear energy combined, but how are you going to use it? Don't blow up the planet with it, And so it's the same with the Christ energy that's coming in, the Spirit, and it's coming in no matter what. There's nothing we can do about it because our God is sending it, but we do need to use it correctly, and it's very powerful.
So you went and you had a bachelor's in psychology. So how did you make that jump from a traditional science way of looking at the mind to getting into the spiritual aspect of that, into the healing aspect of that?
Because I had to go to school to find out the biology and the physiology of our world and our bodies and our minds. And no one really pays attention to you unless you have a degree, it seems. So I thought, well, I wanted to go
that's true.
and find out anyway, even if I didn't. And then as I studied, I also studied esoteric wisdom, the ancient esoteric wisdom, and I found that they go hand in hand. One is not really that different from the other. Again, it's level of consciousness and how you use the energy.
We've talked about esoteric before because Laura brought that up about astrology. How it's
Very
just not
esoteric.
understood by a lot of people. And so, we have heard that term. But the healing part is just amazing to me that you'd say you can remotely heal people? Is that correct?
I just have that ability. I was born that way, and I didn't know I was until people would say this and this and that, and they would verify it for me, and I did not know. And so as I went along and found out, then I thought, well, no, I got to really get a handle on this and find out where I'm at with all this.
Those examples that you gave, I can see how that would just open your eyes right
Oh, yeah.
up and say, what is going on here? This is a little spooky.
Yeah.
I thought about doing Twilight Zone intro for you. That's how spooky it seems
Oh,
to me.
really?
You're the most intriguing person we've ever had on this show. Without a doubt, I think. Laura was up there. She's a fascinating guest, but you're very
Well, yeah.
intriguing. Yeah. We messaged a little bit. You said, we talked about ascension, and you said your goal is for people to align their personalities with their higher self. Could you maybe explain that a little bit more? Or
Well, you have to integrate the personality because it's a tool of expression, and if we don't have an integrated personality, in other words, I use this a lot in meditation, it's the dog wagging the tail, not the tail wagging the dog. So we are to command our personality for expression. And that goes with the elementals and other areas, too, that are a little bit more esoteric. But, you have to be... And that comes through meditation, and that has to deal with the chakras. And people can say what they want about the chakras. Well, that means they don't have the knowledge about them. And you work with the chakras, bringing that energy through to clear your body and your mind. And it goes all the way up. That's why you see the saints and the Buddhas and A lot of even the female goddess, and you always see that light around them, and that is the opening of the chakra. That's the light coming through.
Well, that's a question on my list, actually. I wondered if you look at people and you see an aura around them, or if you can walk into a room and see an aura in that room.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Does it different colors for different people, different times? Does it have to do with their mood or where they're at?
Yeah. They walk in. I don't want to stare, but it doesn't take me long to size somebody up. But I would like to say this: it's not my business. So I mean, if you're not a terrorist, a rapist, or a bank robber, you're all right, But if you're one of those, I'm out of there,
Yeah, I guess if you read into that, you'd be going the other way.
Well,
quickly.
I have too.
Oh, have you?
Oh yeah.
Say, you're a murderer or something like that.
Oh yeah. Right.
Have you worked with the police with your gifts and that?
Yeah. Yes, extensively. Yeah.
I know you can't talk about that probably
Well,
specifically, but
where it led to, and I was like sucked into it because I didn't want to do it. I put it off. I said, get somebody else. And then I was getting my teeth cleaned, and that lady said, hey, how about that so-and-so in that case? And I said, are you the regular, the one, the cleaner, I forgot the name, but of the teeth and hygienist? And she said, no, I'm a substitute. So then I knew that she was there, she was sent, she's going to remind me about these cases. And but the thing of it is, it surprised me is when I was working with the police, and I had a friend, Jeff, thank God, but it led me to Hollywood, sex trafficking, mind control things, all that stuff, and so I started rubbing shoulders with them, and I thought, I don't know about this. I don't know. Well, I wasn't off the hook. And it took me deeper and deeper and deeper into it until I had to face what was going on, and that's part of my job. That's part of my soul. Karma is to get a handle on that. And so I did. And my line's been tapped. I've been followed. I've been threatened. They come in your room, things like that.
some kind of dark entity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
What do you do then for protection?
Well,
Buddha, Christ, who? Allah?
What happened, I'll just tell you real quick. I went and got 3 dogs.
Okay.
One was a great big Rottweiler like a dinosaur, and I named him Rocky. And I had him trained. I used to train animals. So I had him trained to attack. And I told my friends, do not go in that house unless you know I'm there. Okay, because they couldn't go in the backyard either. But then I had another Rottweiler and then Dewey, who loved everybody. Well, I was in my bedroom. I got home about 2:30. It's like 3:30. I was sleeping. I even took NyQuil. I couldn't sleep. And this voice came up to me and said, you are afraid. You cannot move. And I sat up and I said, what was that?
Yeah.
And, and it was all quiet. And I thought, what is this on me? And I couldn't move. It was terrible. You've never felt anything that repulsive. So I laid back down. I got my rosary from Medjugorje from my priest friend, and I was going, Hail Mary, full of grace, our Father. Well, 2 days later, it happened again. And the voice came up to me and said, you are afraid. You cannot move. And I sat up and I thought, no, this is not who I am. I am not fear. I am love. I am a light being. And he got real close and he said, yeah, we're afraid. Real icky. And I said, let me get this straight. I said, are you saying I'm afraid and I cannot move? Is that what you said? And he gets real close and goes, yeah. And I said, oh, well, I said, you and I are going to have a talk. And so I went to the other side, and he went, I don't know what I look like on the other side, but they all freak out when they see me.
Oh,
And so
really?
they, like that, and I wanted to blow him away so badly, but I thought, no, Jesus said, use love. And he was going, and I just kept taking my hand going, you are a lost soul, my brother. let me extend you love and harmony and compassion. And man, that guy, that demon wanted to kill me right there because
yeah.
they cannot take the love. They can't take it. And he was so mad, and I kept overpowering him with it. So finally he started going down through this little dimensional opening, and I said, by the way, tell your buddies I'll meet them in the morning if they want. You bring them back. I said, because we're going to have a talk. And he's like, you know. So the next morning I was so perturbed because they kept waking me up. I got to go to work. And I said, come on now. Come here. I'm awake now. Come and talk to me now. You got something to say? You want to attack? Let's see. But no, it was just as quiet as could be, like Silent Night. So,
So you went to prayer for protection. You went
Yeah.
to that prayer for protection. That's what
yeah, I mean, at the time, but see, then again, it's how much energy you have in you from that meditation and your connection to the other side. Because at one time I had to say, I'm in the army of the Christ. Do you wish to engage? Nada, nothing. Everything got real quiet, and I thought, yeah, I thought so. So, but then, they still haunted my house when I first moved in, and they were blowing dead black flies over my shoulder, and then they put a bunch of dead bees in my basement. And then they sneak by I'm watching TV, and they sneak by my television, and then they go, one of these jinns, they call them jinns now.
We know jinns.
Yeah. And they're there, and I think, you don't think I see you? You're in my house. I see you. It's like, oh, she saw me, It's like, of course I saw you. And I had another one, too, and I had a great big house, like one of those Heritage Hill houses, but not quite that big, but big. I was sitting in the room. I just got back from Wyoming and Arizona. I had a real nice trip. I was very relaxed. All the teenagers going in and out and getting their goodies and everything. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching my movie on Saturday like I always do. And I saw something move out in my kitchen, and I got up and I said, oh, are you guys playing tricks on me? Nobody answered. So I sat back down, and they moved again, and my dog Dewey was trained to go around the house. I said, go get him, Dewey, go get him. And he loved that, he'd snarl. He wasn't a mean dog at all. He wouldn't hurt anybody. But he thought, here's his chance to snarl and be bad. So he went around the house. I gave him a couple hot dogs, and he's all happy. I went and sat back down, and the American Indians, the sorcerers, call them scouts. This scout came in through the back, through my kitchen, into my dining room, went up to the table and looked at me and went, "Arr." And so I said, that's it? That's it? That's your whole point? And so then he tried to make himself bigger, expand his body. And then he went like a muscle man. "Arr, arr." And I said, I'm telling you to get out now, move. And he started running toward me. And I thought, well, here we go again. So I closed my eyes. I call it going to level. I got a hold of him. He freaked out. I zapped him all the way down my hill, all the way down the street. And he ran. But the important thing about that was that around the corner, my friend's aunt was getting raped. That scout was looking for someone else, and I would have been a victim had I not been able to protect myself. So you can see why having a perception of your situation is really extremely important. And I'm not backing down from them. I don't back down much from anybody, and it might be to my detriment, but so far it hasn't been, because they try to pick us up for, like, when I was younger, for sex trafficking and stuff like that. They set things up, and, you can just look at them and tell. I mean, I can. Or you see somebody walking down the street, they just killed someone, or they just raped someone, or they just fired a gun at something they shouldn't have, and you protect yourself from that. You know how they are, and they cannot hide from you.
So you can fight the dark forces with love.
That's how you do it.
With love.
Yeah.
I think that could work.
Love is the strongest substance on earth. Love is the strongest substance in our solar system. And there's a spiritual war going on right now, and it is for love. But Jesus already cleared the path, and Buddha came before him. They cleared that path for that love. But humanity is getting, a lot of the younger ones especially, is getting drawn toward glamour, jewels, makeup, songs. They want to be a rich pop star.
Right, superficial stuff. Right. I love the voices that you did. The way you described those voices when they talk to you, because now Brandon and I have heard voices, and they sound a lot like you did, because we've heard, "Get out." And we've heard that many times, usually on a recorder, and we get it home, put it on the computer.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it sounds like, the way you did that voice.
Aren't you scared? That's spooky.
Yeah, well, I never have been. My grandfather was a ghost hunter, so at 5 years old, I was trained and told kind of what you said, not to be afraid, that their ghost is actually more afraid of you than you are of them, and then that's what we've said. And this is our world.
That's
And
right.
you made that point. This is our world. So people out there having troubles, don't forget that. This is your world. I want to talk about ascension a little bit, and then maybe, Ewelina, what degree of ascension are you at?
Oh, I honestly, that's a hard question. I have no idea.
Well,
I don't know, but I can tell you that Barb is the reason why I'm here, because her message and her technique of meditating is what has brought a lot of peace to my life and a lot of empowerment. I am who I am today because of her and the specific way of meditating that she offers to our community. So I have been meditating with Barb probably since 2012, right? So 7 years, 8 years almost. And the feeling that the peace within that you get from meditating, and also that sense of self-belonging that you develop, you can take it with you anywhere, and it's like Lego blocks. One builds on another. One meditation builds on another, and having any type of paranormal experiences, the ones that I have had myself, the fear that would come if I did not know about her techniques and the message that she has given me many times, I probably would have been in the, oh my God, what is this, right? Where no, anything comes at me, I am in the army of Christ. And there you go. it's the message.
So what would you ladies say to somebody, even just how to get started? Because I know people ask me that all the time. They're like, oh, I can't do it. I fall asleep. Oh, I can't go here. Oh, I can't sit still. I can't do, How would you tell somebody just to start that basic practice of meditation? What's the easiest first simple step?
If they ever prayed, then meditation, you find your spot and relax as much as you can. Start out slowly, and instead, well, if you want to pray during meditation, of course you can, but it's not quite the same, because prayer is asking for something you desire. You're going what they call the 2, 4, 6, 8 path, which is the path of desire. When you get into meditation, the vibration is 1, 3, 6, 9. So you go in that area, and you are chanting, and you're taking command of it. You're saying, like, the other path is like, oh my dear God, I want to be with you, and you're so beautiful and wonderful, make me like you. In meditation, you say, I am beauty, I am wonderment, I am power. But always say through Jesus Christ our Lord. Or if there's someone else you want to go through and ask for help, that's fine. But you need the higher consciousness.
Oh, like
there.
an ascended master of some
like
sort.
an ascended master.
Like you mentioned,
yeah.
Buddha, or
Yeah.
whatever language you understand that
Right.
to be for you.
Yes.
Whatever, yeah.
So I'm guessing you deal with the 7 chakras, mostly.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of interested with this 8th chakra, the soul chakra. Now, do you also meditate on the soul chakra?
Yeah, oh, sure. Yeah.
So this is real basic for us, and we haven't really got into the chakras and Reiki and how that works. So this is just our introduction here. We're going to get into that more this year. I'm really interested because I want to move to that next step. I want to be able to meditate and to reach a higher plane. So the questions that Laura asked, maybe she followed that. The numerals of that more better than I did because you lost me a little bit.
I guess I meditate too. I understand what they're talking about, and I think that you have to have your own awareness of your own energy before you can even ever understand out there what someone else's is. You have to have that. You have to have that control, that command that Barb spoke of your own energy, your own space. You have to know where you begin and end in order, and what is yours and what is not. And as an empathic person, that is extremely difficult. That can be a lifelong lesson for some people.
I remember that from your show. You have to be able to distinguish which are your thoughts and which are the ones that you're receiving.
When you walk into a room and you all of a sudden we're in a great mood and then you're on the floor, what caused that? That wasn't you, but you absorb so much. So meditation is, from that standpoint, is critical because you have to find center. You have to find your soul, yourself, to know, okay, this is it. This is where I exist, where I begin, where I end. That is external. And then you become receptive, and then you get downloaded information, and then you can go what these gals were talking about, and you're able to navigate that. I think the hard part is finding somebody to help you through that. Everyone has an individual journey, but you need information. You need somebody to go, no, you're not crazy. You're at this stage.
That's right. Exactly.
Because it follows a path. It follows a pattern. And although every experience and every person is different, how they interpret what happened, you can kind of tell where somebody may begin and end. And it's a good to have people and resources available, and just for sakes, thank you for doing 35 years of work, dedicating that to humanity, body, mind, and soul, because we need that right now.
Yeah.
People are lost. They're confused. They're waking up at dramatic rates. And when I say waking up, I just mean they're becoming conscious of
spiritually
that space.
Awake.
Spiritually, physically, every level that you can think of. So, thank you for doing that work that long. That's a testament to your career.
Now, you had a particular book that changed your life, and a particular author, Caroline Myss.
Yeah, it's called Anatomy of a Spirit, and it was a 7 stages, basically. She's also a psychology master. It's interesting how that worked, but it was very much letting you know that you're going to go through this cycle, and this is what happens when things change. And it was a great book to me because, I just woke up, hit the ground running, finally just had to accept all the things, and my life changed, but meditation was key for me. And every time I meet somebody, that's the first place I start. Same thing. You have to do meditation. Walking, meditation, sitting, meditation, I don't care. And if you fall asleep, fine. It's called the practice of meditation because you don't get it on the first try. It's a practice.
Well, through this show, I found that out, and now to have Barb on here and reassure me that the meditation is the key.
It is the key.
Yeah, I definitely want to be able to get into that. But there's other things that were on your bio list that I'm interested in, maybe not as important as Coptic, the religion, or the esoteric healing, maybe not nearly as important as that, but I didn't even know if I had this written down right. Communion with animals and birds and fairies. Now Brandon's into the fairies and the different types of the paranormal. There's a lot of that going up on Mackinac Island. Different giant fairies and the legends and that up there.
I know.
Yeah. No, how communion, is that, did I have that right? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
was that communication you mean with animals? Or?
Yeah, and fairies, elementals, beings from each kingdom, from the mineral and the plant kingdom, animal kingdom. Then you got the human kingdom and the, spirit
Well, that'd be
world.
the elemental realm you're talking about there, I guess, in the beginning there. Now, I've always been like a whisperer of animals. I mean, dogs and especially birds. I've had 3 birds that I caught from outside. I mean, like this. I put food in my hand and caught the bird like this.
Ooh.
So, I mean, I've always had a communication with
Nice.
animals and considered myself like in tune with them.
Yeah.
So I was very interested with that.
Yeah,
Now, birds that are outside? Is that the
Yeah.
kind? Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I met the bird. He was the spirit of the birds in the area. He was like the king bird, because my friend found a bird and saved its life. And so when I went to look etherically or astrally at the bird, the head bird came in and said to me to thank him for saving one of his. Very beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's all over. They're in my yard. They're in the bushes. I was even in Colorado in the Grand Canyon. I got one in there that, so, but it's because I can see them, and they count on people not seeing them. And then they, do their stuff. They think it's funny. Some have a good time with it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I've only been communicating with the pawns I haven't been communicating with the higher level
Yeah.
birds or whatever. I've
Yeah.
actually rescued an American goldfinch from outside, and that was Beavis. I had him for years. And then 2 other birds from outside, too. I have a bird now. But, yeah, I love animals, and I think my brother, is a minister, and when my mom had her dog die, he's like telling her, your dog's not going to heaven. I'm like, well, how do you know that?
That's
Come
terrible
on.
to say.
I know. To my mom, that was like her
my
child,
Lord.
her little dog. Your dog's not
Yes.
going to heaven. There
That's
isn't
terrible
a
to
heaven
say.
for dogs. I don't know. What do you think? About
There is an
Wow.
animal spirit.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm reassured. That kind of
So
broke my
cruel.
heart.
Yeah.
That was cruel.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he's a minister. I know he knows religion, but he hasn't been there and been back.
Exactly.
So, geez, thought he had some insight. At the end of the show, we always do a final thought, and we're going to get into that. I got a good one for this
Well, I
show.
had that thing. They always add it in. It's like, well, if God created heaven for you, why wouldn't He let you have your pets with you? You know what I mean? Like,
Because they're part of the
you know,
family.
and- yeah.
Along those lines, just one thing. The very evolved in our world and in the solar system pass through, excuse me, those kingdoms. So they pass through the mineral kingdom and are in a rock or a mountain. They pass through the plant kingdom. They are in a plant. These are highly evolved, on the hierarchy, spirits that watch over planet Earth and other planets pass through. So there's no way in the world they can say, you're not making it. Well, hey, that's a highly advanced individual in there. People don't look at it that way. That's one reason why we're not supposed to damage anything, because we have to allow them to come through. They're helping us. And if we harm them or thwart them in any manner, we're doing it to ourselves. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Someone just turns a
Yeah, I
rock
was
and
gonna
roll
say,
on
all of a
here.
sudden we got a rock in
You're rocking the house here.
It's
Well,
the rocks talking to you.
Yeah, they do carry information.
Yeah, I buy into that. The vibrations, everything gives a vibration,
That's
and the
right.
different crystals and that give off different
Yeah.
vibrations. Right? Definitely believe in that. Wow, I don't hardly know what more to cover. I know we covered the main things. Is there any special message that you would give the people out there in the paranormal community?
When meditation is taking place, do it slowly, take baby steps, and learn to discriminate and discern what you are dealing with within yourself, and know that you are a very advanced individual. We are in a changing of the age from Pisces to Aquarius, and we are all here for that changing. It's a very special time. So therefore, we have to be very special people to be here on Earth. at this time.
This unique relationship that you have with animals, I'm curious, are you a vegetarian?
I lean toward it, not necessarily. No, because I thank the animal, whoever, whatever they came from, and some of them are here on Earth for that, to feed man.
Right.
But you give them thanks for offering their body. Remember that it's just the form. We are in a form. And the form is like our automaton. It's like the temple of the Holy Spirit, because we as souls are contained in the form.
Right.
And we can leave the form whenever we choose, as long as we're ready to do that.
This is just our vessel.
That's our vessel.
Right. Everyone's died up to this point. Everyone. No one's broken that chain. But when I was younger, I thought, maybe I'm the one. I don't have to die. Maybe my body doesn't have to die. But as I've gotten older, I'm thinking it's wearing out. Yeah.
I was gonna say you don't want to, because your body's just gonna break down and crumble on you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm going to turn
the
to
older
dust.
you get,
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, you would
yeah.
get bored with this life. You'd want a new one.
Yep.
Excuse me?
You would get bored with this life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I'm not right now, though. Doing this show,
That's
I'm not bored at all. Now, I want to get back to ascension a little bit, because as you ascend, like, do you look at a sunset and cry over it, or a flower? Do you get that, that tied up in it?
Maybe I did at some point, and thinking it's just so beautiful. It's a miracle. But I guess so, yeah.
I can watch a movie and cry over
Yeah.
it. So I'm in tune, I guess, a little bit with that side of me. But I sent flowers out this year of a picture of a monarch butterfly on an bright orange Mexican sunflower. It was beautiful. I sent it out. I cannot see myself doing that at any point before this in my life. And I don't know, maybe because hanging out with Laura. We've done some lunch and a couple of dinners, and I want to take that slow road. I'm not in a hurry to move on at all. I want to take it all in, make sure I do it right. Hopefully Laura's going to be able to help me along that path somewhat. She already has influenced me.
Yep.
There's other things that are like symptoms of ascension that come along with it when you know that you're progressing. And I have 7 of them listed here. A sense of longing, like you feel like there's a home that you want to go to, but you don't know exactly where that is. Did you guys feel that at all, or any of these? Let me list some of these others and see if Ewelina has experienced any of these along her path. Changing relationships, those that are meant to be accepted will accept you, and then the others you actually have to let some people go. Changes in your sleep pattern, whether it's and you resolve that through meditation. More sleep, vivid dreams is something that comes along with as you ascend, get closer to that ascension. Changes in energy, drained or energized, can go either way. Changes in mind, empathy. You talked about empathy, so I'm guessing you carry a whole lot of empathy around with you. Mm-hmm. You cry because over other people's pain. Yeah.
But you don't hang on to it. You don't get attached to it. You observe what's going on.
So that's where Brandon needs to pay attention, because he is very empathetic like that. We've gone on cases and he's actually felt physical pain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, what can you tell Brandon how to deal with that?
Especially if you're ghost hunting, because they love nothing more than to just feed off your energy, and it doesn't matter if you're happy, sad, fearful, or it doesn't matter. They just want to thrill on the emotion. But through meditation, what it does is it brings you into the mode of the observer. And a teacher said to me once, how can you serve if you first cannot observe? And what you're doing is you're looking at, even if you're going inward, it's the same thing. You're looking at something, but through discrimination and discernment, you realize that that's their project, not yours. you can make a choice about it, of course, but like holistic, you give the necessities to the people, or you're there for backup. But if it's their project, then you have to make a decision to let them handle it. So it's just like with the spooks or whatever you see, they cannot harm. That's a big no-no. And then you have the right to come in and protect yourself. But other than that, observe what's going on. Let the right people take care of it who are supposed to. And if you feel trapped, then you have a right to protect yourself, though. That's a little bit different.
And be able to let that go, Barb said.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could get a lot worse for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you felt the pain, but I don't know.
It just takes practice. When you're aware of that is mine and that is not mine, it becomes very easy.
See, like for mine, I didn't really feel, well, for the most part, like really being attacked. And more just kind of felt like you're walking into like just a really strong energy, and like your body's
Picking
like
that up.
reacting, to that, like something's not right
Well,
in the space,
just,
you know.
back up or
Yeah.
tell them to move, one or the
Yeah.
other, But you need, when that happens, reinforce yourself immediately.
Okay.
Okay, now we got a couple more on the list. Physical
Okay.
changes, aches, pains through your neck, shoulder, throat, and through meditation. You can help that. Yoga. Now, yoga seems a little spooky to me now, all of a sudden.
Why?
No.
Because it seems like it's kind of like right in line with the rest of this, with meditation, with acupuncture. It's like it's trying to get your whole system in tune. So it's got some
But
spooky principles to
yoga
it.
moves the energy. Yoga doesn't allow it to stay. That's the whole point. And it's supposed to be relaxing, and it's not this crazy things people think it is. It's putting your body in positions to actually free the channels for you to move the energy through you, not to let it stay stuck.
Yeah, they all seem to be entwined. And then the top one was the heightened sensitivity. We talked about that already. I'm wondering, do you have a release, like an artistic release, either one of you, that you do that helps ground you? Music, art, anything like that you go to?
I really, actually, you have mentioned yoga. That's one of the things that I do daily, and I ground myself through yoga. Okay, I balance and ground myself through yoga. I also do chi exercises daily to balance and smooth my energy. But I really love being in nature, and that's another way for me to release and get grounded. For me personally, that's what I do. I don't really have a specific artistic way of channeling and releasing some of the energy that way, but I really believe that every time that I move, do something, I'm expressing my creative energy. So it doesn't have to be necessarily painting or something in
All
those
right.
ways.
Yeah, I was interested. Now we've moved into the show quite a ways here, so we open it up for promos, and if you guys have anything coming up, either I don't know if you're teaching any more classes or if you want to Facebook, anything that you want to bring attention to the community out there. And then we'll start with Brandon. He usually has something going. Maybe he has some stuff that he's having coming up. So promos.
Mine is just to check out the Kent County Paranormal Facebook page. Post on some of our future podcasts. We usually do the first and third Wednesday of each month at 7. We usually do like a live stream if we're able to. Sometimes it doesn't work, but other than that, you can always find on the Whole Picture podcast along with this podcast on there on the Facebook page. You can watch the video of that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of traveling this early part of the
Lucky.
year.
I know.
I'm being called, so I'm going to follow the calling. I think it's
Nice.
education time for me again. But I'm always available for reading. I also do, crystal therapy. So the healing, esoteric healing is right up my alley. So, I'm always available. You guys can find me whenever you need, and we'll make it work.
Now you have a code name that you use for your Facebook or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm Firestarter 826. I'm a life path 826. So I'm an 8 life path in numerology. So those are my things, and I'm a fire sign.
What about Laura Bell?
Laura Bell 1000. That's my email address, and pretty much any other way you might want to find me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I have a Facebook group page. Yes, it's holistic healthcare. So yeah.
So our guest host, Laura Briggs, fascinating person. Now, you guys, people can get a hold of you, or you got some things coming up. Anything you want to plug?
I still do everything that you have listed for me on there. And I haven't really been out and about like I normally am because I was getting really sick. But I am now. And Ewelina and she can explain it better than I can probably because she's doing the technological work.
Right.
Yes, we will be working on a special meditation course that we'll be able to offer to everyone. But before we have that done, I do want to tell you guys that we have done a meditation recording on November 11th that was live on Facebook, and it's available to everyone. It's an open public group. It's called 1111 Meditation with Barb Best, I think, or Barbara Best. But if you just type that in Facebook search, you will find us, and you can listen to the recording as many times as you would like. In the beginning, Barb explains a little bit of her journey, and then we go into the meditation that takes about 30 minutes. But this will give you a good idea of what actually it looks like to meditate with her.
Yeah.
Excellent. Right. I'm not going to promote anything for me because I'm going to be here in a couple of weeks. So, we'll talk about it then. I got my number up there. We'll talk about it then because we really are running out of time. But I want to get into the final thought. Now, William Shakespeare through Hamlet said, "To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. In that sleep of death, what dreams may come." So that's the final thought. If you guys have any insight into what comes next after this life is over, are we going to walk into a white light? Are we going to dream? Is there going to be a reunion with your family? Reincarnation? Let's get right to you guys. Any insights into what we might expect on the other side?
What you do here is relevant to what you get on the other side. And what you pass, the last thought that you have when you're passing over, if you're reincarnating at that spot. So anything that you gain in this life, you take with you. And when you come back, then you can start from that area or that level. And pray, meditate, because don't waste time. Because it is, you're coming back.
Okay, you are coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Laura?
Well, maybe she'll be sent. Maybe Laura will be sent somewhere else.
I'm ready to go.
I thought you would be right in line with that, but
we'll just say bye.
I think that's a great message. I totally believe that, but
I'm giving the teachings of the ancient wisdom, so I hope my spot's pretty good on the other side too, don't we all?
Yes.
This is what I imagine. I imagine that we're born to a new image of ourselves, that we are painted in a new light, that we will find true beauty without the scars and the erosions that are inherent to this physical world, absent the inequities of this life. No wants, no needs.
Yeah.
That's
the ultimate detachment.
Yep.
And that's what you have to detach physically, emotionally, psychologically, mentally, and then you can work out of your soul vehicle. Because everything here has to go. And the reason people suffer is because they have attachment. And attachment brings misery. So get rid of your desires out of yourself and take them and go within yourself.
Yeah, you have to be ready kind of to go.
You have to be ready.
And you can't be clinging to this world. And people around you have to be ready to say goodbye and let you go. I think that's important too.
Yes.
But with Ghost, that unfinished business is such a big thing that your business will be finished somewhere else. So don't be hung up on this world. I think that's a key message, right? Brandon, any insights? What you're thinking? What you might expect?
I don't have anything else really to add. So
yeah, it's pretty deep. Ewelina, you want to add to that at all?
No. I think it's such a deep wisdom. Let's just digest the wisdom.
I think it is, really. I think this is probably a good place to thank everybody. Brandon's came back after a great season last year, 2019. Yeah. So our 2020 is going to be far out, starting out right now. I mean, super far out. You guys want to come back, by all means. I mean, you're not that far. You're Grand Rapids area, so we'll make it happen. We're here at a special time in the afternoon. So Kim Colleen normally would be sitting here, but she's not. Laura Briggs, thanks so much for helping us
Oh,
out.
you're welcome. I always love to come in and talk about stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And let me just clarify the not coming back thing.
Yeah, I thought
Just
you were coming.
means-
I thought you were coming back. That's what
I
fooled
totally
me.
believe in the reincarnation. It just means that I want off this earth plane. I'm going to the stars. I'm going to the next set of
I don't
things
blame
up
you one
above
bit. Yeah.
Well,
go.
when I got out of high school, I had enough for a while, and so I wasn't ready to sign up for college. I had enough. I thought I was done, but after stacking boxes in the factory for a while, I went back to school. So
Yep.
maybe that will change for you. That idea that you're done with life. You don't
I
want
just
to come
mean
back.
life on Earth. I know there's other things out there in the universe that
Yeah.
we would never know, so.
I wrote a poem once
Adventure.
about coming back, being reincarnated, and at the end it's like, I think I want to come back as a gnat, because
Yeah.
that's really where it's at. But I don't know. Maybe a higher form of life, a bird probably,
Maybe, yeah,
for me,
eagle
because
or, yeah.
we're into that. But that's the show. Thanks so much for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much.
Thank you for
Very
having us.
intriguing. Yeah. So, peace out.
Thanks.